We are ready to go here from Springfield. These two teams in the second of a two-game series. And Junior Blues, as we mentioned, looking for a two-game sweep after a 4-1 win last night. 4 power play goals, and Springfield now has a special teams mark on the power play of 19.3%, good for 4th in the league. And we'll see what happens if they get on the power play tonight. And here they are with the puck. Here's Lyman moving into the Minnesota zone, flips a shot that deflects into the corner. Stone jabbing for it. Puck comes loose. Lyman couldn't handle it. Here's Will Johnson, the defenseman for Minnesota, moving across to his partner. And that's Kuchera. It gets to the forward, but they don't get it very far into the Springfield zone as Springfield sends it back. Minnesota at the red line. Derek Kuchera sends it in. Alex Baskov in his second game after missing a couple last week. Flipping it ahead. Puck at center. Minnesota moves back with it. Here's Funk with the wrist shot. Deflects off the stick of Milcrease into the far corner. DeCourt handles it. And Springfield clears. But it's sent right back in by Minnesota. Baskov back for it. Just about 90 seconds passed here in the first period. Nothing between the Minnesota Magicians and the Springfield Junior Blues as we've got an offside call here in the Minnesota zone.
Not a whole lot of flow here early on in the game. Both teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit. No good chances or good opportunities as yet for the Junior Blues and the Magicians as both teams change up.
Puck set back for number 4 for Springfield. That's Joseph Carney. He does not have a name on his jersey. These new yellow jerseys that the Junior Blues are wearing this weekend with the Capitol building on the front. Offside again are the Junior Blues. And we talked a little bit in the pregame, Jack. These uniforms styled after the Nashville Predators in the NHL. They've got the same design on the kit. I like them. They're sharp.
I agree. I think they're sharp as well. And officially unveiled as the third jersey. They sometimes have jersey theme weekends, and then they'll auction the jerseys off at the end of the weekend. But in this case, this is actually an official third alternate uniform as opposed to a theme weekend jersey, which is what I thought it might have been.
Minnesota will, I believe, be wearing pink jerseys when the Magicians host Springfield. Is it next week?
Next weekend. Same two teams are going to do it again up in Richfield, Minnesota, suburb of the Twin Cities.
So Minnesota will be wearing special jerseys next weekend when Springfield finally goes on the road. Puck sent in behind the net and now deflected out of play as the shot was taken there by Cody Milligan for Minnesota out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, Jim, you mentioned it. The Junior Blues on the road after this big 8-game homestand, and that is why, in my opinion, tonight's game is so critical. Let's wrap this homestand 5-2-1, and then 4 on the road, including 2 next weekend up against the Minnesota Magicians. You want to hit the road with a good taste in your mouth. And
Springfield under 500 on the road for the year, over 500 at home, so that road record does need some improving upon. Baskov chasing it in his own zone as Minnesota clear, but he turns it right over to Johnson, who has to wait for his teammate to get offside, and he'll just dump in. So Springfield has to do some extra work here off of that turnover. This one is sent in on Lekis and steered behind the net, popped high in the air. Now it's on the near wall. And now chasing for it is Stone. Tried to get around his man, Kuchera. Could not do so. Now Coulter jabbing for it. Minnesota recovers. Johnson on the near boards. Across ice. Off the boards for Weiss, who banks it off the boards and down the ice. And a hit there. And now I believe we have a penalty here.
Penalty's coming up. It's going to be checking from behind, and it's going to be Lester Lancaster getting the gate. And we'll see. Looks like it's just going to be the 2-minute variety. As you see, sometimes checking from behind can get a 5-minute major penalty or a 2-minute minor, referee's discretion. So we went with the 2-minute minor there. And the Junior Blues are going to go on the PK.
Springfield Junior Blues penalty on number 3, Lester Lancaster. 2 minutes for checking from behind. Time of the penalty is 3:31 of the first period.
85% penalty killing rate for Springfield, 12th in the league this year. And Minnesota is 11th on the power play. They are 20th. That has not been a strong suit for them this year. Puck sent in. Lekas comes out to handle, and he is able to get it all the way down the ice. Minnesota last night was 0 for 3 on the power play. Here they move in with it. Nice poke check there, and Takasa Nagi sends it all the way down the ice. Basketkov with a nice move there. Well, players run into each other behind the net there, as Becker and Johnson collided, and that takes precious seconds off the penalty here for Springfield, as it's sent all the way back down. And we've now got less than a minute on this Springfield penalty. Karvinen. Back for Weiss, who skates through. And now Minnesota is in the Springfield zone. A cross-ice pass for Funk. At the point, Johnson gets over for Karvinen. Now Johnson at the point. Thought about the shot, gets over for Funk. The one-timer is blocked. The second opportunity is flung on goal, and it goes behind the net. Johnson battles for it. Fellow forward came in to pinch, but it's sent back out for Funk. Gets the cross-ice pass back at the top, sends it in. Save Lekas, Blues in front. Where is it? They're battling for it, and now we've got a whistle, as that was a mad scramble in front, but the puck stays out.
Tremendous opportunity there, Jim, on the power play for Minnesota. You're Minnesota. You desperately want the first one tonight. You never don't want the first goal of the game, obviously. But I think if you're Minnesota, you have to get that first goal tonight. And they had a great chance to get it right there. Lekas, acrobatic and flexible as all get out like usual, though. Makes a save and keeps this a 0-0 hockey game. Now just 13 seconds remaining in the power play.
Wow, a high bank off the glass was kept in by Wolf. That was great hand-eye coordination there by the Minnesota defenseman at the point. Here's Wolf with it, who backhands it to the half wall for Uglum. Then it's turned over, and Springfield moves the other way quickly now. They say offside. I thought they were onside, but the linesmen disagree, and we have a whistle, stoppage of play.
Trevor Stone tried to hang a skate at the near side, on the near side board to the blue line. Looks like the linesman got that one right, though. I think 18 got a hair offside on that one.
That's why I'm up here, and he's out there, right? 14:19 to go here in the first period. Still 0-0. The score between Minnesota Magicians, their first year under that moniker. They previously, as a franchise, were the New Mexico Mustangs. These two teams have only played once when they were the Mustangs. They beat Springfield 3-1. Hardcore Junior Blues fans may remember the name Nils Semjonov. Do you remember that name?
No, sir.
He was the only goal scorer for Springfield in that game back in 2010. This is interesting to note. No team on either of these rosters was on there, but William Scherer's older brother, Ethan Scherer, was on the Junior Blues roster.
Boy, you're just the trivia master tonight, Jim. I like it. Yeah. I like it. I had no idea. No, I was still up in Milwaukee back in 2010. I was away from the team. Between 2008 and 2011, I wasn't around.
So the New Mexico Mustangs is what they were, but now the Minnesota Magicians, one of two teams that plays in that state in the NAHL. The other team being the Wilderness, and those two teams played each other last week, and Minnesota Magicians were swept 3 games by the Minnesota Wilderness.
Well, the Wilderness are the only team the Magicians have beaten since in their last 18 games. They're 2-15-1 in their last 18, both of the wins over the Minnesota Wilderness.
Prishavalko in the corner, stopped on a dime and is able to get it out to the point. Lancaster flipped the shot, never got through to Nice. Passed out in front, never got through to Severson as Prishavalko was trying to find him. Now Prishavalko has it again on the left wing, takes a shot, stick safe by Nice. Rebound into the corner. Junior Blue goes down there. Tumbling was Severson. He gets back up. Backhanded by Lancaster. Players battle for it behind the net. Now comes out for Minnesota on the near wall, playing it And in putting it into the zone is Max McLean, just recently acquired from the Wenatchee NAHL team by Minnesota. Springfield with a little trouble getting it out of the zone here, and it's turned over and sent in wide of Lekes behind the net.
More than a little trouble, bit of a fire drill going on here as the Junior Blues are struggling on this shift.
This shot is wide of Lekes, and it goes out of the zone. Weiss bats it back in, though, for Minnesota, and here they come again. Chris McKenzie, the newest player just added to the roster today, chasing. And he's got the puck here on the goal line. Tries to send it out to the point, but it deflects and goes all the way back into the Minnesota zone. Kuchera trying to find McKenzie, goes off of his stick. Milcrease puts it off the boards and back out the center. Minnesota right back to send it in. Kuchera puts it deep. 11:48 to go here in the first period. Still 0-0. Olsen is hit by Johnson. The puck spills out to Sloan, who tries to get it to Olsen. It deflects. Olsen got it anyway. And Takasanagi with the shot and the save by Neese. It was a nice shot there by Takasanagi. Pass for Johnson. He's onside. Johnson trying to cut in. And nice defensive work there by me. Springfield goes the other way. Here's John Severson to Vladikovsky. Now to Kasanagi on the left wing. Minnesota gets it back, though.
Igor Vladikovsky back in the lineup tonight. We've not seen him in several weeks.
Sent in deep. Minnesota chases. Here's Carvinen. Backhand pass to his forward who dumps and chases. That was Tony Uglum. Springfield has a chance to recover, and right back the other way go to the Junior Blues. Severson. A save there by Lekes. He has had to be sharp here in this first period, Jack.
Lekes arguably busier in this first period than he was for the lion's share of the night last night, but you're right. Sharp is always when called upon, and the Junior Blues certainly lucky to have his services. And Stefanos Lekes very deservingly named to the Future Prospects game coming up, the two-day event, the 17th and 18th of February up in Troy, Michigan. Lekes will be joined by Mike Severson and Davis DeCourt on the North Division team, Max Coulter and Trevor Stone on the under-18 team.
So 5 players total, and that's certainly a great thing for the Junior Blues, and those players definitely deserve it. Halfway through the first period. Still 0-0. This one will not be icing as it's sent all the way down. Sloan taking it for Springfield. A pass through center. Reeled in by Prishabalko, who chips and chases. Coulter behind the net takes the hit. Prishabalko on the other side. Backhands it deep. Coulter in his head as he tried to get that. Stone tried to get it for Prishabalko. Could not do so. Minnesota comes the other way, 3-on-2 if they hurry, but they are offside.
Offside again. The offside bug has bit both teams a couple of times here. And this time it is the Magicians unable to hold up at the blue line. So we'll get a stoppage in play here and a face-off just outside the Junior Blues line. 9:33 to go, first period.
Lancaster chases. Lekes leaves it for him. He goes behind. He's chased by Colin Hernan. Puck sent all the way down, and Neese will come out of his net to play it as DeCourt is chasing, and Prishavalko leaves it for Severson. Severson deep for DeCourt. Now Prishavalko looking for it on the far half wall. Couldn't do so. Minnesota dumping. You've got one player deep. And the puck off the side of the net. Dangerous. Now it's loose out in front. Minnesota's with a chance here. And the shot goes wide. Boy, that was a dangerous chance. All of a sudden, that came out of nowhere.
Miscommunication there between Baskakov and Lekes, and it was nearly a costly one, but both players able to recover, and play continues.
Players battle for it on the wall. Backhanded from the red line. Milcrease chases. Minnesota with another chance here. Anderson. Now it's on the near wall. And Ross Olson has it, stick handling through a few players. Dumps it deep, and then chases. Wolf takes a big hit by Wendling on the near boards. Puck stays in. Wendling throwing his weight around there, didn't he? Now a pass ahead for Anderson, who's in alone for a second, then pinned up along the wall. And then there's a scrum for it. Players battling, seconds tick off the clock. Here's a shot from the point, saved by Lekas, rebound in front, they score! And then players start fighting here in the corner as a scrum after the goal. Now we got
Milligan. Who's he got? He's got Logan Wendling.
Wendling and Milligan going at it after. And they're throwing punches, and then Wendling falls on top of Milligan. On top of the net, they're still going at it, and the referee has to go in. Linesman, rather, has to go in and break that up.
That one really exploded, and Wendling getting the better of Milligan there. A couple of cruiserweights going at it.
Now, Cody Milligan had a fight last week against the Minnesota Wilderness, and he can really throw him. Haven't seen this side of Logan Wendling this year too much, Jack, and that was a good fight.
Looks like Milligan looked like he had a little crimson around the mouth area there. The goal's not up on the board yet. I saw the red light go on, and there's no reason. I can't imagine the goal's not going to count. It's going to be a Minnesota Magicians goal here. And then
I think it was Milligan that scored.
Not sure what set off that powder keg though, but Wendling really wanted a piece of Milligan. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Junior Blues come out of this shorthanded as well, because they seem to be the aggressors. They took exception to something, but I'm not sure what it was. As the Magicians were able to swat the puck in the net, and I'm not sure what it was that really set the Junior Blues off, but particularly Logan Wendling there. He really kind of got after it, if you will, and took it to Milligan. So Milligan loses the battle but wins the war, as he got the worst of the fight, but he's going to have a goal to his credit and a 1-0 lead for the Magicians. And again, to echo what I said earlier, and I really thought it was key, I really felt the Magicians had to have the first goal tonight, and this could it'll be interesting to see how this changes the complexion of this game, with the Magicians having a chance to play from in front, because last night they played the majority of the game from behind and were never really able to accomplish anything. So we'll get all this sorted out here as we're waiting for the announcements to come. Right now we're just speculating, but it looks like it's Milligan's goal.
I thought Milligan had a chance out in front. It looked like he had an easy tap in. Everything kind of became a blur after that with the fight.
The indication coming, it might be Will Johnson being given credit for an unassisted goal here. Well, let's see. We'll see what we get. We got Jack Sloan in the penalty box and Logan Wendling. And down in the Magicians box, do we have one player or two? I'm going to be interested to see, are the penalties all going to offset here? Or is this going to result in a Magicians power play? As the Junior Blues losing their cool a little bit there. Something really set them off. I don't know if they took exception to the way the Magicians got after a loose puck in the front of the net, but ultimately they're not complaining about the goal, so I can't imagine what they'd be
this is a long
set
delay.
off about. But yeah, quite a delay here as they try and straighten it all out. We're going to get the information to you as soon as they get it to us. Let's throw it over to Chris.
Minnesota goal scored by number 7, Will Johnson, unassisted at 12:19 of the first period. That's the Magicians 7, Johnson, a goal at 12:19. Here are the penalties on the play. For Springfield, number 7, Logan Wendling. For Minnesota, number 39, Cody Milligan, each 5 for fighting. For Springfield's number 2, Jack Sloan. for Minnesota's number 7, Will Johnson, each 2 minutes for roughing. Time of those penalties is also 12:19 of the first period.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it,
Jim.
yeah. Johnson with
Offsetting
his
penalties.
13th goal of the year for Minnesota, and they lead 1-0 now.
So the Junior Blues will have to come from behind tonight, as they were able to play from ahead all of last night.
Johnson, one of only 2 goal scorers in double digits for Minnesota this year. Here's Karvinen moving in, taking the shot. Easy save by Lekas with the glove.
Karvinen, the only goal of the night last night for the visitors. And now Will Johnson on the board, and the Junior Blues down 1-0. And I couldn't help but chuckle as Milligan skated to the penalty box with his mouth a little bloody and was chirping at Sloan and pointing to the scoreboard. It's a little early to be pointing at the scoreboard, isn't it? Especially when you're riding a 10-game losing streak.
Absolutely.
I might be. It might just be me, but that was my impression.
I agree with you. Centered out
There's
in front,
a
and a
great
nice chance by Lemon. And Nice had to make the good save there. Backhanded deep, and Max McLean dumps and goes for the line change. 3 Magicians in. Colford was poking for it. Milcrease able to bank it out. Stone with it at his own blue line. Gets it to his forward, Coulter, who chips and goes for the line change. Turnover. And a big hit there as Mee was caught in the trolley tracks.
Dennis Chevron got him.
Fighting for it behind the net. Chris Falco and Severson. Severson lays a big hit into his man.
That's going to be a penalty too. That's not a good play there by Mike.
Chevron moving in. Onside, they say, and another glove save by Lekas as he went to his left to make that save, and we will have a penalty on Severson. I guess this will be, checking from behind?
This will be either boarding or checking from behind. Take your pick. I think it kind of sounded a little worse than it was. It made a big rattle up on the boards, but at the same time, Severson, Michael's got to be smarter than that. He made that one a little too easy for the official to call, and checking from behind will be the call here.
Springfield Junior Blues penalty on number 14, Mike Severson, 2 minutes for checking from behind. Time of the penalty is 14:12 of the first period.
So Minnesota goes on its second power play. And they are 0 for 1, and we've got another one. This is going to be a 5-on-3, and if Minnesota's smart, they'll just give it right to Springfield so they have the full 5-on-3 chance, and they do as Carney touches up for Springfield at center ice. A 5-on-3 with 1:43 to go in this first power play. So, Jack, just about a full 5-on-3 situation in terms of a 2-minute minor.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire for the Junior Blues.
Springfield Junior Blues penalty on number 9, Brendan Jacques, 2 minutes for tripping. Time of that penalty is 14:29 of the first period.
So the Junior Blues with their work cut out for them. These things can work the other way, though. You kill this 5-on-3 off, and you get a huge shot of momentum in your corner. So we'll see if the Junior Blues can somehow find a way to parlay this into their advantage. But right now, they got some serious work to do.
And Minnesota wins the faceoff. Kuchera at the point. Over to Colford. Across. Here's the man at the point. That's Becker. Kuchera and Becker switch places. They score. Colford on the doorstep. Had the nice pass from the point. And it's 2-0 Minnesota with 5:14 to go in the first.
Yeah, great passing play there by the Magicians on the power play. And no doubt about it, as Colford receives the pass and hammers it home. They made that one look easy, and of course when it's 5-on-3, you got a lot of room to throw that puck around, and that's exactly what they do. Colford, I believe, leading the team in goals, if I'm not mistaken, is going to add to his team leading tally there. And the visitors are up 2-0 and a very surprised Nelson Center.
Minnesota Magicians goal scored on the power play by number 9, Matt Colford. Assisted by number 4, Derek Kuchera, and number 26, Colin Hernan. Time of the goal is 14:46 of the first. That's the Magicians' Colford from Kuchera and Hernan on the power play at 14:46.
Well, Will Johnson had taken the scoring lead with the 13th goal, and then Colford gets his 13th, so those two players are tied for the goal lead for this Magician squad. So there's a deflection in front, and the save by Lekes, and the rebound, they score. Lekes made the first save, and it was a nice one, but Minnesota got the rebound and batted it in. It looked like a mid-air deflection there as a 3-0 Minnesota lead. Wow. Another power play goal.
Great hand-eye coordination and almost an identical role reversal to last night. It's just stunning how similar this game is playing out to last night's. However, the roles have changed.
So a stunned Nelson Center crowd is looking at its home team with a 3-0 deficit, and
Magicians' goal scored on the power play by number 8, Jack Weiss, assisted by number 11, Eetu Karvinen. Time of the goal, 15:24 of the first period.
I tell you what, Severson just laid a big hit on O'Connor on the boards, and that was a dangerous hit. And Springfield's got to be careful here. They've got to keep their head.
Prishavalko just dumped, I believe that was number 18, Sam Wolf, in the corner. I saw the referee put his whistle to his mouth and then decided not to call it. Junior Blues darn near went shorthanded again, and they have got to get their composure back because they have plenty of time to chip away at this lead and get back into this game.
Absolutely.
But they could not keep taking penalties, and they darn near took another one.
The court takes a stick in the midsection and dumps it in. Minnesota gets it back here. Karvinen through center ice. Minnesota on the rush. Shot deflected behind the net. And we've got a whistle. I think that must have deflected off the netting.
So a stoppage in play here. 3:39 to go. Junior Blues will try and get one before the end of the period. And now Milligan can point at the scoreboard. 3-0, and I'm as stunned as the rest of the onlookers in the Nelson Center as the Magicians absolutely hapless on offense last night, and they look like a well-oiled machine tonight. Both of those power play goals, absolute beauties. I mean, those are really pretty goals.
Yeah, this does not look like a team that has lost 10 straight for sure. Daly at the point, the shot. I don't think that ever got through to Lekes. It was blocked by something in front. Springfield moves the other way. Pass in front for Lancaster. Oh, nice save by Nees. What a sharp glove by the Minnesota goaltender.
Great pass there from Stone over to Lancaster. Lancaster in cold, eyeball to eyeball with Nees, and Nees with ice water running through his veins. And he's been the Magicians' best player this weekend as far as I'm concerned. And he did it again there. That's a great save and keeps this game 3-0.
Oh, 2-1 if Minnesota hurries here. The shot taken, that deflects and goes into the corner. And Minnesota looks like none the worse for wear here in this game. Now loose puck and chasing is the corner, backhander, and nice save by Nees.
And here's a penalty that's going to come up now. And the court here, he needs to not lose his cool. The Junior Blues are going to get a power play, but the court might even this up here. The court taken down way away from the whistle. But then the arm was up in the air. Minnesota was going to get the original penalty. Is the court going to escape here, or is he going to go as well?
Nope. No, he goes to the bench.
So roughing's going to be the call on Kuchera. And the Junior Blues now a chance to go to the power play and see if they can continue on the path they were on last night.
It's power play time. Minnesota Magicians penalty on number 4, Derek Kuchera. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty is 17:15 of the first period. That's the Magicians' Kuchera, 2 for roughing. Junior Blues to the power play.
As I mentioned last night, Minnesota gave up 4 power play goals, and Springfield now with the 4th best power play in the league. If you're the Magicians, this is a big kill. You don't want to give the Junior Blues a chance to get back in this game. Lancaster across for Sloan in the corner. Takasanagi fought for it. Minnesota comes out with it, though. as Weiss circles back deep into his zone and will send it off the boards out the center and all the way down the Springfield zone.
Kuchera adding to his team-leading penalty minute total, now 109 on this season. 5th in the North American Hockey League in penalty minutes is Derek Kuchera.
Lemon finds this one and takes a hard hit on the Minnesota half wall.
Nice hit there by O'Connor there to knock Lemon off the puck, and the Junior Blues having trouble establishing anything on this power play opportunity here.
Sent high off the glass and down. A minute 3 to go in this power play. A minute 45 to go in the first period with Springfield down 3-0. Baskakov gains the line and then pitches in and sends it deep. The court on the far side, stick handles and gets it to the goal line for Prishavalko, who's tied up along the wall by Wolf. Severson chips in, gets it out to the point. The shot saved by the pad, and it's loose out in front and picked up by Minnesota and sent off the glass and out the center.
Good opportunity there, but the Magicians keep it out.
The court brings it back in. He's hit. Severson sends it deep. Prishavalko with space behind the net. Now comes out here on the near side. Prishavalko holding. Prishavalko over to Severson. Severson on the goal line, back to Prishavalko in the circle. Prishavalko finds Milcrease, the shot. Never got through. Sent out. Nice penalty killing here as Minnesota gets the change. And fresh troops on the ice for what's the penalty is over. So now 41 seconds left in the period. We're at even strength. Sent in, but as far as the blue line, as Mee gets it back out to Severson. Severson chugging for it on the right wing. Given back to Minnesota. Becker tried to get it out, but sent back in. Here's Becker with it again. Cross-ice pass, the flex gets to Uglum. Nice pass there, moving on the right wing, saved by Lekes. And that shot was taken by Johnson, and Lekes' glove has been active here in the first period.
Magicians really getting under the skin of the Junior Blues, and the Junior Blues are going to have to really be disciplined here. I'm not even exactly sure what it's doing. I think the Magicians playing much more physical tonight, but they're really getting the Junior Blues off their game. And Jack Sloan there, right as the whistle went, really got a little extra rough there with the player. And referee would have been within his rights to ring Sloan up there for extracurricular, a little roughing or what have you. And the Junior Blues have got to be careful here.
Lekes makes a save in the dying ticks as the horn sounds, and the first period has come to a conclusion. Mr. Dykes, a 3-0 lead for the visitors. Minnesota Magicians put on a clinic in the first period. A couple power play goals and a power play opportunity for Springfield in the later stages of this period goes by the wayside.
I don't think anyone had this on the predictometer tonight. I'm stunned. The way the Junior Blues looked last night, and conversely, the way the Magicians looked last night, absolutely, there was no thought in my mind at any point that this game was going to be 3-0 Magicians after one period. The bad news is the Junior Blues get lit for 3 in the first. The good news is 40 minutes, 2 periods is a lot of time to make things right here. But they are going to have to start first and foremost by being more disciplined. Some uncharacteristically undisciplined penalties in that first period by the Junior Blues. And they watched the Magicians eat themselves alive last night by taking dumb penalties. And the Junior Blues took a few tonight in that first period that, just not good penalties. And this from a Springfield Junior Blues team that is among the least penalized in the entire North American Hockey League. This is a team that knows how to stay out of the penalty box. And tonight, not only could not stay out of the penalty box, but couldn't kill the penalty when they did commit the infractions. And that is just not a recipe for winning hockey, to say the very least.
If you're Minnesota coach Scott Meyer, you got to be happy with what your team has done here in the first period. And you talked about the physicality. Yeah, Minnesota stepped it up, and Springfield did not respond well. The first goal Minnesota scored was a physical goal. They crashed the net. They jammed in front. They did what they needed to do, and a loose puck was jammed home. And Springfield got itself a fighting major and a roughing call as a result of that. And then Minnesota cashes in twice, once on a 5-on-3 and then the ensuing 5-on-4. Just a dominating performance in that first period by the Minnesota Magicians.
2 for 3 on the power play. The Minnesota Magicians are Junior Blues 0 for 1. And again, that's about all you need to know from the first period. Will Johnson at 12:19, Matt Colford at 14:46, and Jack Weiss at 15:24. And it's a 3-0 hockey game. So, Jim, we'll step aside now. Enjoy your intermission, everybody, and we'll be back with what will hopefully be a much better second period for the Springfield Junior Blues. This is Junior Blues Hockey on FastHockey.com.